Hey folks, how's it going? Long time no see. I thought it's time for a new live stream, and it's taken me ages to pick a kit, especially after having longer breaks. I'm always having such a hard time deciding which kit to build first, and this time I just decided to go by time spent on my shelf. So there's one kit that has been sitting on my shelf longer than most other kits, and I've been wanting to build this for a long time. Here we go. Well, sorry, spoiled in the description. So it's gonna be the TX75 75% layout. Some things special about the stream today is gonna be I will be using the TS100 soldering iron. I got a new tip. I got a nice chisel tip. I think it's called D24 or something like that. I got this stand here. I think I showed it in a previous video. I kind of messed this part up, so I had to hot glue it in. It's supposed to you're supposed to be able to twist and pull it out, but somehow the twisting and the pulling out just didn't. It didn't coordinate well, so a little notch broke off, and I wanted to have it back secure in place, so I hot glued it in. I got some spare tips here, and I just drilled into these holes here to turn them into nice little holders for these spare tips. So I got a conical tip, and I got a nice other flat tip, and most important part, I got some brass wool here for my spare to clean the tip, to wipe the tip. As a the power supply, I'm going to be using this 20 volt Lenovo power supply. Where's a free plug socket? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So what I did, I think I showed it in another video. I built this little adapter. This is like an adapter. This was supposed to be an adapter from the old 20 volt Lenovo connector. This is like the old 20 volt Lenovo connector as a socket, and this is the new Lenovo connector, which allows a bit thinner machines. So they haven't changed the voltage, so the old power supplies still work with the new models, but they have changed the plug. So you can get something like this is the old plug, and this fits perfectly into this adapter. And here's a little this one is going to fit into the soldering iron. Here we go. I think I switched it to lefty mode. Oh. I thought I turned this one to lefty mode. Oh, there we go. See? No. Just gotta let it sit for a moment. Okay. Holding down the other button doesn't help. What the fuck's going on? Oh yeah. Finally. It took a while to heat up that massive tip. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, actually, let's check the chat. People are probably yelling at me. So yeah, let's just heat it up. 300, there we go. And I don't care about left-handed or right-handed. That's good. Yeah, let's get started. Got some stabs up here. And I got my switches prepared here. And now for our main guest. This is the TX75. It's actually my first TX75 build, and my only unbuilt kit. The other TX75 I got was built by a friend of Kin's. His name is Bock, and he's also the designer of the Bock CP. And he did an incredible build job on my other TX75. Probably like it's legitimately a lot better than my build jobs. I was super impressed. It was such a nice key feel. It's always my that's pretty much my point of comparison when I'm trying to compare different keyboard builds and switch feels. So this is the bottom. Steel weight. I don't even have the brass. Damn. That was creepy. Creepy man. As always, I hope you brought plenty of time, because I am pretty unprepared for this. Probably not going to be using any leads. Probably going to be using these to fix the case. Oh, these are probably spare screws for the weight. Might be for the weight. And bump-on feet. I'm gonna have to attach these later. Here's the plate. Oh, see, this is where the leads go. So I might actually put in the leads. I think I remember the one Bock built for me had the leads in place, and they looked kind of nice. Definitely reminded you whenever you had caps lock turned on. Okay. Oh, give me a second, guys. This stream is also going to be the last stream for my existing streaming station setup. I'm not going to change anything about the camera or the capture card or the lighting or anything. So I've been messing around with that enough in the past, but I will probably be messing around with replacing the streaming PC. I don't know if you remember, but I used to have issues with sudden stops, like sudden crashes of the PC during streaming, and that was super annoying. I figured out it's probably a heat issue. Somehow this streaming stuff puts a lot of, like, it doesn't put a lot of load on the CPU, but it puts the wrong kind of load on the CPU. So probably also the GPU, and it's all done using a ThinkPad T430. ThinkPad T430. I don't think it had the best terminal design to begin with, and yeah, it just didn't work too well. So yeah, hopefully after the stream is done, I'll have some time, figure out, and I got a new main notebook, so my old ThinkPad T550 is going to be the new streaming station, and it is a bit more powerful than the 430, and will hopefully not get any heat issues. So let's check out. I'm just gonna check the chat every once in a while. There's a surprising amount of people in the chat actually these days. I think YouTube's really pushing the chat. People asking about my gloves as usual. Yeah, people asking about my gloves. Yeah, I think I've gone through this a gazillion times now, but I still love to answer this question because I love my gloves, obviously. Yeah, they're great to prevent you from getting fingerprints on your plate, because the plate is the most difficult part to get fingerprints off of again once you've assembled it. They help me keep fingerprints from everything else, and they protect my finger from physical damage and heat. You can actually just touch the soldering iron for a second before your fingers are getting burnt, and usually a second is enough to realize you've slipped. Okay, never forget, first thing, put in the stabilizers. Oh, look, there's a couple of cute teddy bears. I wonder who put that in, if Liku did that or if Kin did that. Oh, it's been designed by Liku and Lifezone. Yeah, it's super cute. Oh yeah, and another thing, I just got I was so tired of having to look for these screw-in stabilizer screws, and often when you find screw-in stabilizers in boards, they were in the screws weren't in good condition, or partially rusty or something like that. So I just got the smallest quantity I could get was 500 of these screws, and I got them with Torx head TX6. I love Torx. It's such a nice screw head. See, this is where the gloves get a little bit difficult to fiddle with, but it's okay. But this is the first keyboard I'm building with these screws here. I hope they're not too long, but I think they're going to be alright. Be $10 wasted if these 500 screws were unsuitable for this purpose. But so I guess it's a risk I had to take. Whoa, okay. So I'm this screw is going to get in contact with one pad. I hope one pad is okay. I think we're only getting into problems once these screws touch two pads. When they actually short two pads. Let's just hope this is going to be alright. They could be a millimeter shorter, but other than that, I think they're pretty okay. Aw, Torx 6 is really small. Torx 20 is where it gets really neat, where you sometimes get enough depth into the screw head that is gonna sit comfortably on your screwdriver. With TX6, I don't think we're getting to that point. Okay, let's check it out. Good. Layout. Layout is going to be ISO because I hate wasting away good stabilizers, and okay, well, I didn't have to put these 6 screws here after I picked them all out of the big compartment. Good. Well, okay. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, the plate was getting caught by the bottom corner of the stabilizer. That's not a part that is supposed to be above the that's not a part that's supposed to be above the plate. See, sits the screws and the damn. Okay, let's try something. These screws might be crap after all. I want to make sure that the screws don't push the plate up to a point where it affects the switch fit, but it seems to be okay the way I look at it. I don't think this is even the right position. Going to be a 125, 125, 125, 1.5, 1.5, and the Ergo cluster. Pretty much like this one, but with ISO. So let's pull this one out again. It's a bit too close, and yeah, let's put couple other corner switches in. Maybe it's time to solder the leads if I want to put them in. What do you guys think? Leads or no leads? Oh wow, that delay is terrible. Give me some feedback in the chat. LEDs or no LEDs? I can put in the SIP sockets already, and then make it an easy decision at the end of the video. Wow, that's super neat. Where'd they go? Oh, there you are. Damn, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I'm such a lazy dude. I always try to tell myself these streams wouldn't be as entertaining if I wasn't such a lazy carbon sniffer. Okay, here we go. Heating up. First blood now. Wow, that's a big tip. That tip's making me feel uncomfortable. Just joking, of course. Oh, that tip's got a lot of thermal mass. Okay, what do we have here? See, I can just getting back to these gloves, I can just push down these gloves with my, I can just push down these SIP sockets with my gloves without having to worry that the heat is going to transfer through the pin and burn my finger. So, I mean, I wouldn't use these to take something out of the oven, for example, but they're still great for these occasions. Absolutely wear them whenever I work with electricity, like proper electricity, not this kind of 5 volt or 10 volt funny stuff, because they are going to be like they're definitely thicker than most wire insulations, unless they get wet. I'm pretty confident that they are going to at least absorb a lot of the shock I would get when I touch a main wire. Like a mains wire, call it mains wire. Ah, wow. This is just terrible. The good thing about this huge tip is I can just heat up both joints. Ah, see, now the heat got through. That's cute. Okay, we're zip socketed. I'm already reminded why I usually I don't enjoy streams in summertime as much. This room's heating up. Step caps lock. Of course. Yes, we want step caps lock. If you build cherry switches into a board, you should have step caps. That's the tribute you pay to the cherry gods. Okay, let's try some bottom row switches now. 1.25. Here we go, and another 1.25. Here we go, see? There we go. See, this is a... Oh. This is the 1.25 Legend silk screen, and this is where we got our leg. This is the 1.25 Legend, and this is where we got our leg. We're gonna go for a so cute. Let's see, center. Let's see what the M. So yeah. Oh no. C stands for Sherry and M stands for middle. So what Sherry did with their 6.25 unit spacebars was they just kept the switch placement of the 7 unit spacebar and just changed the stabilizer around it, which gave these 6.25 unit cherry spacebars an off-center stem, the original off-center stem. Let me have a look if I can find one. I'm sorry, I don't have any around here. So this is going to be the right one for us. Here we go. See, yeah, that is the middle and not the cherry. This would be the cherry. More bottom row puzzling. Here we go. Okay, I think we should have the bottom row together now. We can start filling the field. These cherry clears with these switch films. These are a very early revision of Kin switch films. These polycarbonate switch films that Kin is making, Kin of from TX keyboards. These are a very early revision, and they are still fairly thick. They are brilliant if you manage to squeeze them in somehow, but they are difficult to properly squeeze in, let's put it that way. So once you got these seated properly and closed, they are the tightest fit you can get. like they are like something like that's close to being under tension. But the newer revisions are like several atomic layers thinner, and they will give you a firm fit and not mess up your switch housings as badly. So yeah, if you see me having trouble with these switch films, it's because I'm using an old stock of these films. They are nice if you get them into place, but if you like, if you want to rewatch my Mech 27 build stream, I think half the stream is just me pushing the switches into the plate. It's a plate with no switch top removal. Plates with a switch top removal won't have any issues if the switch isn't like fully 100% closed, because obviously they have a cutout for that on that side. But if the plate doesn't have switch top removal, you will be cursing a lot when you push in all these switches. But once you get them in, that's the rewarding part. Once you got them in, the switches are locked in place. Like, these switch housings aren't going to open themselves up anymore. And they got their they have their switch film locked in there. Really nice. Like, yeah, so lately I've been trying to get a video on switch loop curing. I wanted to do a time lapse and set up different loops, put them on stems. I wanted to time lapse them curing or drying in, and the video quality just wasn't good enough. Like, the GoPro isn't a macro, it isn't a macro lens by any means. And the curing process is so, let's say, miniature, yeah, it's only visible under the right in the right light and with the right angle and with the right focus, and I couldn't get all three together. So I had my GoPro running on time-lapse mode for 2 days and the result was just useless. The one thing I could tell from the time-lapse was that Krytox is eventually going to like, if you take a slider and dip it into Krytox, GPL 105 that is, it is eventually going to drip off the slider. Yeah, because there's absolutely no curing happening with Krytox. So it was staying in its liquid form. And it, yeah, at one point, like, excessive Krytox was just dripping down onto the sheet that I put underneath. Okay, let's check the switches out. Gonna use my fingers now because I want to get hurt. 1, 2, 3. Like, visual inspections don't work for me. I have to do it with my hand fingers. It's much more reliable than a visual inspection. Oh. Oh no, it's there. This one. Wow, we got a single one that wasn't done properly. It's actually quite a good result based on my experiences. From previous videos, like based on my personal experience. I'm not such a genius. Yeah, the chat is filling up. A lot of big names there. Amazing. And there's been a question why I'm not billing these with Zelios, simply because I can't afford them. Cake. Okay, yeah, it's soldering time, so I'm dragging my vent over here because I don't like toxic fumes anymore. Yeah, and there goes the audio. Okay. How did it do that? Can't even remember. Feels uncomfortable. I have to re-watch some of my videos how I did that. Maybe it's this also. Okay, it's pulling me down a little bit. I got like I can't blame the iron. It's cable management here. Okay, we're working with a lot of thermal mass here. This tip's it's actually pretty big. It doesn't look so huge. It looks like a pretty slim pen-like soldering iron, but when you hold it against an MX switch leg, it does look pretty big. Yeah, trying to get at the soldering joint at an angle, like a little bit from the top of the switch, so that I don't touch the center leg of the switch. Oh wait, could have done this before. Always helps pushing these in before, save you a little work after. Okay, so I'm trying to get at the switches. So yeah, it's a shame they don't have a greater variety of chisel tips for this iron. I would really love to see a smaller chisel tip. That would be groundbreaking. One of like I think that's a super sweet size here. That's for my Weller. If you compare it, you can see it's quite a difference. So yeah, it's a pretty massive chisel tip, but I think it's the only chisel tip you can get for that iron. Oh wait, I'm just gonna try and take the wire and put it over my shoulder. Oh yeah, that actually relieves a lot of the tension from the wire. That's pretty cute. Unfortunately, you can't see what I've just done. I've just thrown it over my neck like a pair of headphone cables. And stopped it from dangling all the way to the ground. not even boring to do the soldering after I haven't done any, after I haven't built any kits for so long. Actually feels quite exciting. Like, wow, I'm doing something I haven't done in a long time. I was shocked to see that the last build stream I did was the LZ, the Lifezone CLS, like the original CLS. Because that kit happened quite a while ago. I think in the meantime we've had the LZ CLS M, which already delivered, and we had the LZ CLS S and H, like the small, and the CLS M is pretty much the same thing. It's a 75% kit by LZ, by Lifezone, and it's going to be the same PCB for sure, with a different case and different plate stuff and so on. Oh yeah, I think I got it in my shelf somewhere. And the Lifezone S and the Lifezone CLS S and CLS H are the 60% versions. The CLS S being the poker layout, and the CLS H being the happy hacking layout with the happy hacking blockers. Unfortunately, there was no CLS C with the cherry layout, and or sorry, I'm not going to call this cherry layout. Classic layout. You could call it classic with the win keyless blockers. That would be amazing. The only 60% kit that I got my hands on, which was offering win keyless blockers, was the X60, and it's a real gem. I think 60% kits with win keyless blockers look pretty amazing. I do understand that with a 60% layout, the last thing you want to do is piss away potential keys, and every time I use one of these, I do miss the Windows key. But there's just no designated Windows key. You can just use one of the control keys or something like that for Windows. There's ways around the issue with the Windows key on the Win keyless. I think everyone's got to figure out his own preferred way. Should I throw in the Weller for a direct comparison? Okay, here's my Weller. That's the one I've been using to build all these keyboards for a century now. And we're at 300 degrees already. Okay, let's see. I love you, little thing. Wow, that's so cute. Ergonomically, it does have. I'm just gonna up the temperature here. How do I up the temperature? Oh, there we go. Jup jup. 230. Because the Weller is running at 230 as well, so I'm gonna be fair here and give it 230 as well. 240 even. Yeah, I think it's already doing a bit better. I don't think performance-wise you can tell a difference between them. It's more ergonomically that I feel that this part, like the part between, like the foremost part that you can hold on to, and the actual tip, that's a bit longer than I would like it to be. This is definitely not a position that I would be holding a pen at, and that's significantly shorter with the Weller. If you look at this, Like you can hold the velo like this, and it's even got like a wider rim here to help you not slip off, and you can hold it much closer and much better, like more controlled. Whereas this one doesn't have any protection, keeps you from slipping off. I'm wearing my gloves, so I'm like not concerned at all. Yeah, you can definitely solder with a tip this size. It's not a big deal. And now that I upped the temperature by 40 degrees Celsius, it's also going a bit faster, so I don't think there was really a performance gap between the two. Here comes the fun part. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Quack. Ha! Someone from India is in the stream. I think I've seen comments from you. Forgive me if I if I don't dare to pronounce the name, because I'm gonna do it the wrong way. I'm so sorry. Not very good with this. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, this one moved a little bit. I recently looked at one of my 60% kits that I built in my early keyboard days. Damn it, I instantly remembered why I'm going through this routine every time. That looks so awful. Oh, it wasn't even a 60%. It was one of these red scarves they had on Massdrop. The one with the Model FAT macro row to the left, with these 10, like this double key row to the left of the alpha block. Very neat. I really love this. I would love to see this in more layouts. I think recently we've seen this in some of the exotic duck layouts, and it's something I really love. I love having keys on that side of the keyboard. It's free space. Like no one, like hardly anyone, I'm left-handed. I know some left-handed people have their mouse on the left side. I have mine on the right because I've been assimilated, at least when it comes to mice and joysticks. Probably why I suck at FPS. Yeah, like this length here is a bit uncomfortable for me. It would be really nice if this could be like shorter. Maybe I just have to find a different way of working to account for this, the length, like the total length of tip. Oh wow, forgot that one. Forgot another one. Ah, this one moved. This one moved. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm getting to the camera. I wish there was a better way of better setting at the GoPro. Like if I set the angle, if I set the angle too high on the GoPro, it's gonna be super nasty, distorted. So I'm setting it to a low angle, which means I have to raise it further up to get everything in the picture, and by raising it further up, I'm getting my head into the picture. Ah, and my nose. Whoa. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'll try it like this. Ah, this works great. Let's try something. I'm gonna put some solder on the tip. Put the tip down here. We need that. We need that flux. We need that flux in there. I don't want to take any risks. Okay, there we go. Okay, soldering iron back into the soldering iron cave. Let's get this out of the way. Oh yeah, I can switch the weather off as well. Yeah. Just the quick first verdict on the needle TS100 is performance-wise pretty impressive. Ergonomically, it kind of depends on how you manage the wire. It is like the wire that the cable that I'm using is just not as sexy as the silicone cables you get with really high-end soldering irons, but you might be able to get like one of these cables on your own, like one of these silicone cables, fix up a nice connector and get a very similar experience. The overall length of the iron is probably the biggest problem. Makes it a bit more complicated to work with, and especially the length between where you can put your fingers and where the actual tip is. Okay, so gonna get the dirty stuff off. Okay, where's the case? Here we go. I think that's the way it goes. Now before we get crazy, let's hook it up. Oh wow, it's upside down. Okay, there is something going on. It's been connected, and I'm going to take a look at my desktop, and there we have the key tester. Okay, let's try this. Okay. No, I just realized I put it. That's actually a gray switch. It's the first time I realized. Did anyone put that into the chat? Oh, Scotty, you're cracking me up. I would of course gladly get my brains blown out before I pick between those two. Another question: if I've used the back lubing method on the clears? Yes, I did, but with Krytox 105. These have been Krytox 105 lubed. So yeah, I put the spacebar switch right around here. Just want to make sure everything else is running well. Okay, chip, space. Okay, looks awesome. Getting this switch. Come on. Better? Yes. I can answer that myself. Okay. Next step is putting this on. So this is a sandwiched mount. Flux. I didn't remove the flux well enough. I shouldn't have listened to you guys. You're not my real dads. PH1. That's my bro. PH1. Yep. Ah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, something's been misaligned here. No. Here we go. That's much better. Okay. I'm getting some lube on there. Oh yeah, of course. Because the switches are Krytox lubed, the stems are Krytox lubed, the lube is still going to be liquid floating on the switches. There's very little horizontal movement, but maybe like half a millimeter of a vertical movement. So let's try and wiggle this out. Okay, let me see. I hope I get this centered now. Okay, let's just call it center. What I do when I want to work fast with the screwdrivers is when I insert the tip, I will keep my finger next to the screwdriver, make sure that my finger makes contact first and then the screwdriver goes in. This way I keep myself from using the tip of the screwdriver to find the screwdriver hole, which is going to be terrible on such a nice case. Okay, here we go. Oh, flip it once again, and this time, for the last time, putting on the feet. Okay, there we go. Both one feet installed. Keycaps. We're starting with the alphanumerics, and then I'm gonna go crazy for the with the mods. I'm gonna be using all KPRepublic mods and all cherry alphanumerics, and I hope the legends don't clash that hard. Well, I won't be needing the gloves right now for the keycaps. I'm trying to not touch the case as much. I'm still a bit torn about the afro. I mean, the afro is the one that always gets you, because there's no, it's alphanumerics and it's mods colored, like mod colored and alphanumeric colored, It really sucks. Was machen wir hier? 5. Yeah. But yeah, there's not much I can do. I will probably go with full KPRepublic for this part. Pretty nice condition, these caps, I have to admit. I really like them. The little note that I left with these keys said that I sandblasted them. But they're, oh, yeah, I wasn't very smart. How did I? Okay. This, I always mix these up. I can't remember which one goes where. So yeah, this set was conveniently missing the enter key. So it was predestined to be married to one of these kids here. Okay, which one are you gonna go for? The green or the yeah, the other one. Oh my god. Backspace, here we go. Yep. Nice, like it. Okay, what else do we have? Tab. Tab is like that's like the key that is going to get you. Okay, now, oh shit, yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and mix the original things with the other thingies. I absolutely don't want to have clashing of alpha colors up there. Cutting this open. I'm probably gonna switch to a different. Camera angle again. I always felt like the wide angle is gonna give you crappy distortions, but at least you can see everything. Okay, here's the short shift. Do we have any input on the enter key? Pink. Pink. Well, generic green squid is obviously voting for green, but then there's a very strong Scotty and no Kexty. Where's Kexty? Kexty, you decide. Okay. What else do we have? Oh yeah, of course. Off-center caps. There we go. It's there. Nice one. Well, green it is. Come on. That means it's gonna be all green. No, is it gonna be all green? Is it gonna be all green, or are we gonna have a pink escape? Pink escape. Yep. Good. Spacebar. Leaning strongly towards green spacebar. Oh, that's the 6 unit. There's a lot of spacebars in here. Spacebars alone were worth it. There we go. Shit! I didn't realize an alpha key was missing. Like how? Where's the N? Oh, there it is. Okay, now let's see how the F keys. How bad is it? Like, I want this to look good, so I keep telling myself it looks good. I want to hear some more people tell me it's okay. Or like, it's not like I've got tons of alternatives. So the naysayers, should we get this in a different color, or should we rather have the original F keys? I don't think that's really an improvement. Snap on some gloves. Yeah, Oblotsky, I'm feeling you. I would love to do this one unicolor, but it's not an option. Yeah, the 9009 font is clearly like a font size or half a font size larger than the cherry font. But I don't think I'm not sure about the color match. How's the color match here? Yeah, like the base kit, it's like the big base kit that I got. It did have the option to have these in pink, green, or gray, but there wasn't an option to have these all in alpha color. That's a shame. That would be really neat. Okay, so we're going for the full 9009, or are we going to go for the mixed one? I'm not sure here. I'm not good with this stuff. Why are people asking me for advice? Okay. Oh yeah, things that I'm good at is putting a print key right here. Another thing that I'm good at is putting a delete key right here, and I'm very good at putting a page up key here. I'm super good at putting a page down key here, and I'm a real legend putting an FN key down here. Got two more freak keys up there. I want there to be like a home key and a home and end. I think those are pretty useful keycaps. Just the wrong way around. Okay. We haven't had a breakthrough with the top row, and I rather have the mismatch of the font than than a slight differentiation in alpha colors. Like, to me this looks okay, but then again, I like contrasts. Yeah, I like contrasts a lot more than I should. I don't have enough artisans to cover this, Scotter. The only artisan key I have is a silver Tauper key. Is the stream running well? Yeah, seems to be running well. Okay, folks, so I think that's the best I can come up with. It is probably going to be triggering some people's OCD. That's typically normal, because this keyboard, this hobby is pretty much a collection of people with insane OCD issues. I think this is the best I can do. I feel like this is kind of like centered enough for me to make me happy. The green thingy in here, I don't know, Cakesy made that decision. I'm not to blame. And the pink escape. Yeah, the pink escape. Okay, so people have been asking for a typing demonstration. I am not a good typist. I don't use keyboards at all. I don't know how to type. I'm just joking. So maybe it's a good typing demonstration to just answer some people in the chat. Oh, it's not connected. That's a pathetic laugh right in there. Unfortunately, it's not fully mapped. Like, I haven't done the remapping yet, so it's largely gonna be okay. Shit, this machine is laggy. What's going on with my pure machine? Feels kind of laggy here. These kind of typing demos just make me depressed because I suck. I suck at typing. At least when I have to read at the same time. Yeah, it feels pretty nice. It feels like a nice and bassy, bassy, nice and assy. That's a keyword I would totally buy. Nice and assy, nice and bassy. Yeah, sorry for not using my thumbs to press the spacebar, but as I've mentioned before, I use ThinkPads, and I've been using ThinkPads for 15 years now for the majority of my typing life. And ThinkPads have this little thing, which is a little track point that you have right here. And they have the mouse buttons down here. So what I would be doing is I'd be using my thumbs for the mouse buttons that are right here, and I just trained myself to use my finger, my index finger, for the space bar. It was probably one of the reasons why I'm not a world-class typist, among lots of other reasons. But yeah, this is something I realized one day when I was looking at myself typing. Self-typing. See, put in an extra space there for you, just to emphasize on the point that I'm using my index finger. And it's also very funny because my spacebars all have like a blank shiny spot right here, like because I keep hitting it here. Yeah. So, verdict. An amazing kit, like all the other TX kits. It just sits here like a rock. The typing, the typing sound is very solid. It's a very solid keyboard. The switches are, I would call them pretty silent, like bassy, MXy. Yeah. The keycaps. Oh yeah, we can have a look at one of the longer caps. The notorious shift cap. Let's have something to compare it with. Oh yeah. Huh. Not terribly warped. Yeah, well, they're okay. Like they no obvious warping going on. And unfortunately, they didn't nail the legends, especially with these page up, page down keys here. Legends are pretty sloppy. They kind of feel like a bit like just thrown in there. the boldness and the infill is a bit inconsistent. Like you can see it with the delete here. The E, the E at the end of the delete kind of feels like it's just sitting there. Some other legends are really neat, but just not. They either didn't try or they didn't do a great job getting the legends really spot on cherry. I do appreciate the alts graphics, and I do think like these F keys, for example, look a bit more similar than other keys. Let's try the 4. Yeah, you can see with the 4 that the cherry dye subbing is a lot more a lot finer. Yeah. Well, other than that, I'm kind of happy with what I got. It's a nice PBT keyboard with great compatibility and nice ISO DE PBT caps. So for me, this is a win. This is as good as it gets, unless I can find someone to make me some German Dyesubs all over the place. But then again, it's probably not going to be worth it, since these German Dyesubs are like well available to me. So thanks very much for watching. For all those who are still watching the stream, I hope I can make a new build stream again soon. Not sure which one I'm going to be building. Having a really hard time finding something to build. I don't know if I can tilt the camera towards my backlog. No, it doesn't have it tilting that way. Okay, yeah, so you can't see the backlog. It's a shelf, and yeah, I was trying to do all these keyboards justice. I mean, this was an easy pick because it's been sitting on the shelf for a long time, much longer than a high-class keyboard like that should be sitting on the shelf. Yeah, and I'm gonna be doing a nice build stream again soon. Thanks for watching and have a great time.